I have an uphill battle today. First of all, I'm so happy that the pizza is coming after my presentation. The second uphill battle is that I'm going to talk about data science today. And this is a Friday evening, and I'm pretty sure they're already yawning. So I'm going to try to make this as relevant to your situation as possible. Okay? Feel free to ask any questions along, or we can take them at the end. I don't really care. But what I care about is, why is it data science should have predicted that a company like I.O. was actually calling Pleo in July in order to get their service? And why is it data science with 3 hires a month should have Staten calling us and not us calling Staten? You see, that is what this talk is about. This talk is about how we can accurately target the audience that is most likely to convert. Because we don't do it today. We simply don't do it today. We spend, as B2B sales, stupid amount of time in qualifying before we actually understand that this is not someone we should talk to. Why is it that B2C is laughing their ass off of what we do in B2B? Why is it they do that? Why is it that when I open my BBC or when I open my Economist, I get an ad for Deutsche Bank? I live in Munich. They know I have Hypo Vereinsbank as a customer. Why is it it's not Danske Bank, but Deutsche Bank I get the ad from? Why is it when I open BBC again that I get an ad for Air Jordan? I don't fly Air Jordan, but I do fly Lufthansa quite a bit. Okay? They know that, and all of us know this, that they track me on anything I move around, and they know exactly who I am as a persona, and they target me for who I am as a persona. So why is it that we in B2B sales are not doing the same thing? Why is it that when I look at an ad at LinkedIn, it's stupid? It misses totally the point of who I am as a persona and the company I work for. That is what I'd like to talk to you about. And I would like to talk to you about how we solve that kind of problem. It's not easy, because if it was easy, it was solved. By the way, when Messenger was announced in 2014, I never imagined that in 2019, 1.7 billion people allowed a company called Facebook to read every single, through natural language processing, every single SMS, every single WhatsApp they have corresponded with on their mobile phone. I never imagined that people would allow that kind of intrusion on their privacy and actually do a so intense profiling on them that they could actually predict when they go to the toilet, because they correlate the whole data with location, eating habits, the whole thing. Anyone who has been in understanding what companies like Facebook can actually do in profiling would drool if we could do the same thing in B2B. So why is it I still get stupid emails on LinkedIn? Painfully stupid emails that talks about potatoes in Belarus, you know, and think I'm in the league of Microsoft or whatever, We don't have a shade of Microsoft products anywhere in our company. If you go to our tech stack on our website, there's not a single Microsoft product. Why do they believe that we develop in .NET? Okay? We still get that. I'll bet you guys, either you are sending those, or you received as many as I do. Okay? Yeah. For me, LinkedIn, I'm sorry, I get happy when I get 2,000 views on whatever I post, but I'm probably a little bit more introvert. But here's my point, that if they have actually profiled Ocean as a company, they would know that we have 14 engineers sitting in Ukraine. We have 10 sitting in Copenhagen. And if you have profiled anything on us, they know that it's all Python, data science, Elasticsearch, and whatever deep tech we are working on. It's definitely not .NET. And it's definitely never going to happen in Minsk. Okay? Okay? So, how many of you is on a daily basis using a CRM system? Can I just get a hand up? Okay, great. If we could truly analyze your CRM system, do you agree with me that that will be a testament to the buying behavior of the customers that actually converts? Does that make sense? If we can copycat those customers, would that be your target market? Does that make sense? Even on a Friday evening? Yes. Thank you. Okay. So why is it we don't do that? Why is it that the last time in May, the conversational was about, let's get in their face 5 minutes after they called in? I will question, why would you get in the face if they don't fit your customer profile? Why would you waste time on qualifying them when you can get algorithms to qualify whether they fit what you have in your CRM database? Okay? That's what I would like to talk to you about. Anyone from Peneo today? Because I'm going to peel Peneo. Okay, they had 6 tickets. They missed it, okay? Because I'm going to try to take a data science perspective to a company like Peneo. Peneo, if we go to the Danish registry, they are a computer software company. Is that what Peneo is doing? No, e-signature, okay? They're all about e-signature. If I go to their website and peel off through natural language processing, peel off their keywords, that is what they're doing. Okay? If I then apply context to what the words say, let me put it into perspective. There's 1 billion words in the English vocabulary. If I don't bring context into those words, how they're put together, I'm going to be way off the bat. And I put this up as an example. Orange is the new black, okay? The context you read, which your brain will basically process in a split second, is that I'm talking about orange as a color. I'm not talking about orange as a fruit. You see, AI, since will immediately within the same split second, the moment I use the word AI, you will by context put me into saying artificial intelligence. Whereas AI could be artificial insemination, which is recognized as a profession, okay? That's why context is so important when we are doing these things. If we do this on a big scale, I will get it to work, I promise. Okay, there we are. I need both hands. If we do this on a big scale, there's 420 million company domains in the world. 420 million. If we upload and peel all of their keywords and stash it into a context vector, and I'll free you for that, you will actually understand on a relevant scale, this is Peneo's competitors. Okay? This is Peneo's competitors anywhere in the world. How can we do that? Let me show you. This is going to be a little tough one, okay? If I take your CRM system and upload it into a normalization engine that takes all of your companies in your CRM system and basically resolve them into a normalized portrait of who they are, and then start to map them in 3 dimensions against each other, this is how it looks. I've just done it with 25 companies. If I did it with the 10 to 20,000 companies you had, it would look like, you know, the Milky Way, okay? And I don't want to turn this into astrophysics. So if I look at Peneo, they sit there, and the companies that here we are. The companies that clusters around them are their competitors. So if I want to find the companies that are identical to these, I then do, from a mathematical standpoint, I go out and scale any company of the 420 million that looks, from a mathematical standpoint, identical to those. Why is that important? Because then I can pinpoint exactly who you should go after. I can take your entire CRM database and we can basically analyze it. We can tell you who converted. We can tell you at what value they converted, how long it took to convert, and then we can map it out on a scale of that, and then we can go out and find identical companies. Or we can build response engines that when a company that is similar to this shows up on a call to action on your website, you should indeed call them back within 2 minutes. This is what data science can do for a company. Yeah, go ahead.
But you need a lot of data to make this system. So how about startups? They don't really have any data. How
No.
do they join your system?
What's your name?
Tobias.
Tobias? Thanks, that was a great question. You see, the company, why is it that nobody has done that? Because we know that CRM data is polluted. We know it's not clean and it's not normalized. So unless you take all the data from the CRM system, load it up in a normalized version, which is exactly what you do on Facebook. If you want to create a target audience, you load your targets up into Facebook and they create for you your lookalikes. That is what we do. Okay? So we take your data, you load it up, and then we create your target audience. That's exactly the same mindset as BTC. Did it answer your question?
Yeah.
Perfect. A company like Peneo has so many data points on the web. And I'll try to peel some of them. I'll not go into all details, but I'll try to peel some of them. But imagine this scaled on a 420 million company database. That you have this massive database, you take your data, load it up, and then out of that you find exactly the clusters you should target. Either whether that is in Denmark or whether that is in the US, doesn't really matter. Okay? Peneo uses 17 technologies on their website. If you peel this on every 4 or 6 weeks, you know exactly what kind of, based on those technologies, we can actually machine learn us to which of them represent most sophistication in inbound or outbound. We can actually grade a company whether they are really an inbound engine. And Alexander's nodding, because we know which tool they will use if they are running CTAs and want to convert them. Okay? That is what that is giving us. Then we go LinkedIn. By the way, here's the reason why I'm getting all those, because Ocean.io is also a computer software company. And if you want to do any kind of targeting on a company basis, this is the common denominator you actually target based on in Sales Navigator, which is a computer software. Okay? Again, makes no sense. But what I'm trying to use here is those 43 employees on LinkedIn, and how to peel them and how to profile what that company is doing is far more important as their web traffic. If any one of you is selling to e-commerce sites, you do. Whether an e-commerce site has 5 employees or whether they have 25,000 visits a month and they use Magento, which of those two are the best indicator of a large e-commerce site?
25,000.
Thank you. Okay, size is a relative number. That's my point. Size is depending on which industry you're in and what product you're selling. We're still using system that's sizing it based on number of employees. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not like one size fits it all. It's really depending on what you do. An e-commerce site with 25,000 visits, 5,000 followers on Facebook, and 12,000 followers on Instagram, is that a good target?
Definitely.
Perfect.
You give me the number.
They will buy. Why? Because they have enough traffic and return customers that they actually have a need for potentially your product. You see, that is what you do when you start to track extensively into the social media. This is what they do with us in B2C. So why don't we do it here? That's what I'm arguing for. Again, I'm going to use some really, really dirty words like natural language processing. If I can determine which country Penneo is in, I can determine their registration number because it follows a certain code in Denmark. In Germany, it's different. I can determine where the office is because I can have a robot read their address. I can have a robot reading their email, their phone number. I can have, through their LinkedIn handles and email, I can track, and this is business emails, by the way. And those I can't track, I can regenerate. And it's all within GDPR. Okay? I'm not touching personal emails. But natural language processing on titles, names, phone numbers, and everything else, we can track it the whole way down. It's publicized information, and I find very few companies that use that. So, the pizzas are not here yet. What I'm arguing for is that if we in B2B can do customer-obsessed sales, knowing your customers to the degree to how many likes they have on whatever platform, how many followers, increase in followers that had on LinkedIn. Our estimate is, by the way, that there's an absolute correlation for a company like Ocean and Penneo of the amount of followers on LinkedIn and the size of the company. It's absolutely correlated. Okay? And the curve on that, how fast that curve accelerates, gives you an indication of how fast they hire. Okay, he left, okay? But that could have been useful information for someone who wants to sell recruitment, okay? So analyze your current customers, use platforms to analyze it, engage with the optimal prospect, and then close the perfect account. That is what we want to do. We don't want to waste our time in qualifying. We don't want to waste our time. So how do you target them? I don't care whether you do outbound. I don't care whether you do LinkedIn advertising. I don't care whether you do Facebook advertising. What I do care about is that you actually put an ad in front of someone that has a high probability of buying your product. That's what I'm advocating for. Because if you do that, you get conversion rates that, like we do, which drives is 50 euros a month, 50 euros a conversion. Yeah, at LinkedIn, okay? And since we charge north of 200 euros for our platform on a month, and we have conversions of more than 60% for our customers, that is a very profitable business to be in. Okay, that's why our investors love us. Okay, but that's what we would like to give you. Like to give you a platform that can do that. Target perfectly your audience. Questions?
Yes. Is this only relevant for instance, LinkedIn advertising, or is it also relevant to IP targeting for services like that?
Okay. IP targeting is a very difficult thing because IP targeting is, if for someone who doesn't know that, is the ability to personalize the inbound traffic based on the IP address.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Range of address. The problem with that is that they need a fixed IP address in order to do it correctly. Okay? There's only 10% of companies that use that. That's usually the biggest companies. The smaller companies like us, we don't use fixed IP addresses.
Then you target some server in Russia.
Yeah, exactly. Then you have to go through Russian, We don't want to do that. Okay? So it's not only LinkedIn. It's retargeting based on visits. It's retargeting based on profiling them on Facebook, on Google. We are working very closely with Google in order to perfect the retargeting on Google. Okay?
I work in a business where our product is very general. Another product custom.
Yeah.
So my question is, if you analyze our CRM,
Yeah.
for example, you might come up with go to that market or go to that market. But our market is much more broad, and the data that you come up with is maybe not maybe missing in a potential market. Am I missing something, or do you understand my question? Or
Yeah. Do you have many competitors?
Yeah, we do, but
Yeah.
not that many.
How many? Just
In Denmark, maybe we have 5 direct.
5 direct competitors. Okay.
It's a complex.
It's a very complex question to answer. Okay. But let me ask a different question. Any of you seen the movie Moneyball with Brad Pitt? Okay, thanks. Okay, what did Moneyball prove? That if you take intuition out of your decision and let machine learning do the naked analysis of your data, you will, out of that naked analysis of your data, create the optimal customer, which is fitting your, and you can, and since your CRM system is a perfect timestamp of when you do what, you can actually create the optimal for actually conversion rate.
But don't we get too narrow?
Why do you get narrow if I can, if I,
Data that, in our case, we are a startup, and we have different customers in different areas and different markets, and our market is very broad.
how many customers do you have in your CRM?
Like buying,
No, actual customers.
I don't know. We have NN market data, so we just go from them. I have right now maybe
5,000?
yeah, at least
5,000, okay. What the machine learning will do for you is that it will point to the 5,000 and cluster it based on who actually converts fastest. And once you have found that optimal cluster, then it will go out and find identical companies to that cluster. That means it will point you to where you spend your time most wisely. Because there's the lie, that's back to the Moneyball. It's the most likely that they will convert fastest. Okay? That's the best answer I can give you. Okay?
What would happen if every company would spend their time more wisely and more efficient?
The earth is not flat. They don't do it.
But in the perfect world, companies should use your platform for more wise.
We have one competitor. It's called Data Fox in the US. They got acquired by Oracle for quite a bit of money, okay? We are very happy they got acquired, okay? Because that took the only competitor we have out of the market, okay? Yes, there's not that many that does this because it's damn hard work. It's not for fun, we have 20 developers. Because this is hard work to do what we're doing. Because we create a point of reference for you where you take your data and then we point to that point of reference and say, this is your target. Yeah, whatever.
Is it your experience that this works for every industry, or have you had examples of industries where, let's say, the sales process or something is so complex that you can't actually see correlation between what you're delivering and results or sales?
Let me give you the most nuanced answer I can give you. What surprised us when we entered into the German market, because although I live actually in Germany, what surprised us was really how Stone Age German companies are from a digital perspective. Excuse my fellow German down there. Okay, he agrees with me. You see, we came with a Nordic perspective of everyone in a company, and every company is totally digitalized. Okay? Germany is not the case. That's why we center our focus on Berlin, Munich, very specific target audience in Germany. My way of answering is that the more digital represented a company is, the better, the more data points you can get. As my dear friend is a perfect target for any advertising because he's all over. He's all over the net. He has left his fingerprint all over the net. It will be so easy to target him. You can actually give it the color of his boxes, you know. That by the sheer amount of data he has left across, okay? German companies don't do that. It's by nature. It's called Datenschutz. It's ingrained in their backbone, okay? But so the answer is the more they are represented digital, and Nordic is clearly one. Nordic tech, you know, the 60,000 tech companies in the world, they are perfect because they leave so much.
So your service works better in Denmark than Germany?
Yeah, it does, yeah. And even better in the US. Not so good in Finland.
How does it actually work? Because you need many integrations to CRM systems.
Okay. I actually showed up today in order not to do a product demonstration. Okay? Because I thought I would. Yeah, okay. But I thought I would do what is behind, what is triggering our mind in order to do that. I'd be more than happy to do a product demonstration, but it is taking, if we identify, who are you identified? By your name? No. By your facial impression and your email address. That is your unique identifier of you as an individual on the net. The same for a company. It's not their registration number. It's their URL that is unique. So you take a URL, and based on that URL, we can map it against any of the companies that is similar to that. And then you put in the filters.
So if I have an existing CRM system, I need to take everything out and put it
We hook directly up to HubSpot. We hook directly up to Pipedrive. Salesforce will be the next. Okay. We thought that people, our customers, would be hesitant to hook up the entire system to us. Is that the case, Wendy? No. They love it because they actually get something back. They get a complete analysis of their data. Huh?
Do you have some numbers on average of payback on investment investing in your products?
The only thing I can say, if we hook directly up to your CRM system and we start to feed you direct audiences that basically increase your conversion rate and it's tangible, we don't charge you based on a fixed fee on a 12-month basis. We charge you on a monthly basis because you don't churn. Okay? Why would you churn? We feed you directly what you want. And then we score you. That means we basically generate the scoring because we are full-fledged into your CRM system. We can actually tell you whether that inbound you targeted with attribution was actually converting in the end. And then what happens with machine learning? Then it starts to optimize. Once you get those full loop conversions, it starts to optimize. It starts to narrow in on the target. It's not about getting 7,000 ads out. It's about getting 100 ads out with a conversion rate of 50%. That's what it's about.